Part 1. The Anatomy of Silence. The most dangerous person in any room is not the loudest. It is not the one pounding the table, not the one proving points with volume, not the one announcing their confidence like a billboard with legs. The most dangerous person is calm, the one whose heartbeat refuses to race just because the world is having a panic attack. That person is the silent warrior. History has tried to teach this lesson for thousands of years, but we keep failing the exam. We live in an era where volume is mistaken for authority and speed is mistaken for progress. But the silent warrior knows better. They know that while the world is shouting, the person who can listen and remain unmoved is the one who actually holds the remote control to reality. The Stoic lineage. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire while reminding himself not to be ruled by his own mind. Imagine the weight of that. He wasn't just managing a household, he was managing the known world, plague, and border wars, yet his greatest battle was these 6 inches between his ears. Then you have Epictetus, who walked through slavery with humor so sharp it should have been registered as a weapon. He was a man who understood that your master can chain your leg, but he cannot chain your will unless you hand him the keys. And somewhere in ancient Athens, a man probably spilled olive oil on his sandals and said, "Ah yes, friction training for the ankles." Philosophers were funny long before the internet discovered sarcasm. Stoicism was never a museum artifact. It was a survival manual. It was a guide for how to remain human when the world becomes ridiculous. And let's be honest, the world is very committed to being ridiculous. Part 2. The invasion of the modern world. Your phone vibrates like an impatient toddler. Emails arrive with the urgency of false emergencies. Traffic moves with the organization of a committee designed by pigeons. We have invented tools to save time, yet we have less of it than ever. Stress management today sounds modern. Breathing apps, wellness podcasts, ergonomic chairs that cost more than your first car. We try to buy our way out of anxiety. We think if we just have the right standing desk or the right noise-canceling headphones, the world will finally leave us alone. But the core idea is ancient. Learn to stand still inside. The silent warrior begins with a simple understanding. You cannot always choose what happens, but you can choose the temperature of your response. Life delivers rain. You decide whether it becomes a storm. The morning invasion picture the modern day. You wake up and immediately the invasion begins. Notifications, news headlines, the Weather Channel predicting emotional collapse because clouds exist. Your mind is asked to run sprints before it has even located the socks. This is where patience must dress faster than anxiety. The Stoics used to practice premeditatio malorum, imagining difficulties in advance so they would not be surprised later. If they lived today, they would imagine the printer jamming, the Wi-Fi disappearing, and the GPS confidently sending them into a lake. They would rehearse forgiving technology daily. Imagine Marcus Aurelius opening a laptop. He wouldn't smash it when the spinning wheel of death appears. He would see it as an opportunity to practice the spiritual wheel of patience. He would say, "This laptop is not slow. My expectation of speed is simply too high." Part 3. The strategy of patience. Patience is not passivity. This is the joke our culture keeps telling incorrectly. We think patience means lying down and letting the world walk over you. Actually, patience is strategic delay of reaction so intelligence can arrive before stupidity volunteers. When Musashi spoke of calm spirit, he was describing nervous system dominance before neuroscientists invented complicated words to charge high consultation fees. The brain's boardroom calm tells the brain, "We are safe enough to think." Panic tells the brain, "Submit a 200-page report in 3 seconds and also solve childhood trauma immediately." Modern stress is largely a storytelling problem. The event is smaller than the narrative we attach to it. A breakup becomes, "I am unlovable." A failed exam becomes, "My entire lineage has disappointed the ancestors." A rude comment becomes, "I will now dedicate my life to replying with paragraphs so long even the original author forgets what they meant." Epictetus would respond, "Someone insulted you? Congratulations, free training partner provided by the universe." And then he would probably charge them rent for occupying his mind without permission. The man was savage in the best way. Part 4. The Silent Warrior's 3 Filters. The silent warrior treats stress like a poorly behaved visitor. You greet it. You offer tea. You do not let it redecorate the house. Stoicism teaches 3 filters for calm. 1. Is this within my control? If the answer is no, then worrying about it is like trying to yell at the sun to stop setting. 2. Is this worth my energy? We have a finite amount of emotional currency. Why are we spending $50 worth of anger on a 5 cents problem? 3. Is this funny enough to survive with humor? This last one is unofficial but very necessary. The outrage subscription. Your brain is not designed for constant outrage. Yet the modern world runs an outrage subscription service, and you accidentally enrolled. Every time you open a social media app, you are being invited to a fight. Calm requires boundaries. Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." If he owned a smartphone, he would add, "Also, you have power over the block button, and you should use it ruthlessly." Stress management is deciding what you refuse to carry. Part 5. The Social Media Siege and the Comparison Trap. The silent warrior knows that the battlefield has shifted from physical ground to the digital landscape. Modern stress often comes from comparison, a psychological tax we pay for peering into the lives of others. Social media shows you the highlight reels of the world, and in your moment of vulnerability, you compare them to your behind-the-scenes bloopers. You see someone else's success, their perfect vacation, their seamless career, their pristine aesthetic, and you assume they were not fighting demons. Meanwhile, behind that filtered glow, they were likely negotiating with anxiety daily, using protein shakes and sheer willpower. The silent warrior competes only with yesterday's self, not with strangers whose full stories remain hidden behind a screen. Calm is learned through exposure, not avoidance. You practice breathing while discomfort sits next to you like an awkward roommate you haven't yet learned to evict. The outrage subscription service. We are living in an era where outrage is a commodity. Your brain is not designed for constant 24-hour indignation, yet the modern world runs an outrage subscription service that you accidentally enrolled in the moment you accepted your first terms and conditions. To combat this, the silent warrior builds specific rituals of calm, morning breathing, engaging in a practice that is older than any modern app or wellness trend. Physical boundary, walking without a phone glued to the hand like a second skin. Information diet, listening to news in moderation so the mind does not become a dumpster with Wi-Fi. Ruthless blocking, realizing that you have power over the block button and using it as a tool for mental hygiene. Part 6. Reframing the ridiculous. The Stoics were absolute experts in reframing. They had the uncanny ability to turn suffering into philosophy. In contrast, the modern habit is to turn minor inconveniences into frantic group chats. Laughter, however, is the ancient medicine that bridges the gap between Stoic grit and modern survival. Even in the face of true horror, figures like Viktor Frankl proved that stress management is ultimately perspective management. The traffic jam meditation. Imagine Marcus Aurelius stuck in Los Angeles traffic today. He wouldn't be pounding the steering wheel. He would say, "The obstacle is the way," and apparently, the way is 2 miles in 3 hours. While a man in the next lane overfilms a TikTok about how philosophers should have invented better roads, the silent warrior would be meditating in the driver's seat. Patience is victory over emotional speed. It is the ability to separate the event from the narrative. The event, the car is not moving. The narrative, this traffic is ruining my life and I will be late because the universe hates me. The decision, I will use this time to breathe like a turtle who read Epictetus. Part 7. Building calm systems. You cannot escape clean pain, the inevitable events of life, but dirty suffering is an optional DLC, downloadable content, purchased through the act of overthinking. The silent warrior separates feelings from decisions and coffee from existential crises. Most stress is simply mixing those categories incorrectly. Patience is the long game against a short-term culture. It builds wealth in finance, cities in architecture, and families in love. In stress management, it builds a funny nervous system that refuses to take life too seriously. The kintsugi of the soul. Somewhere in ancient Kyoto, a potter repaired cracks in a bowl with gold, a process known as kintsugi. The philosophy was simple. The damage makes the object more beautiful, not less. If that potter had a YouTube channel today, he would title it, "My Pottery Glow Up Went Viral Because Cracks Exist." The cracks in your own nervous system, the places where you have been stressed and tested, become your calm highlights. You must build calm systems, offices, processes, and structures, because systems outlive moods. Final charge of the silent warrior. The silent warrior wins internally first and then laughs at the external. You are not required to attend every argument you are invited to. Calm is not the absence of feeling, it is the presence of control. Walk forward with your head high and your scars visible. Be the person who can survive modern stress with humor so sharp, even Epictetus would subscribe to your channel. Because those who master calm will eventually master life. Part 8. The Warrior's Toolkit. 10 Modern Stoic Drills. To bridge the gap between ancient theory and the chaos of the 21st century, the silent warrior employs specific drills designed to stress test the soul. These exercises ensure that your patience is a practiced skill rather than a fleeting mood. 1. The low battery fast. Voluntary discomfort is a cornerstone of Stoic training. In the modern world, nothing creates more irrational panic than a phone hitting 1% battery. The drill is simple. Let it die. Spend the next hour without the digital tether. Notice how the world does not end, the sun does not fall from the sky, and your identity remains intact, even without a screen. This is training for the clean pain of being disconnected. 2. The unpaid spokesperson audit. We often spend our emotional currency on things that don't belong to us. When you feel the urge to join a trending outrage, ask, "Am I being paid to care about this?" If not, you are acting as an unpaid spokesperson for a narrative designed to steal your peace. The silent warrior resigns from these positions daily. 3. The GPS lake rehearsal. Practice premeditatio malorum by imagining your most relied upon technology failing you. Visualize the GPS sending you into a lake or the Wi-Fi disappearing during a critical meeting. By rehearsing your forgiveness for these inanimate objects in advance, you prevent dirty suffering when the glitches inevitably occur. 4. The 5-second tactical pause. Between a stimulus and your response, there is a space. In that space lies your freedom. When a rude email arrives or a driver cuts you in traffic, the drill is to wait exactly 5 seconds before reacting. This is the strategic delay that allows intelligence to arrive before stupidity takes the wheel. 5. The zoom out comedy special. If life feels too intense, you are likely too close to the canvas. Zoom out until the event looks small. Imagine your current crisis from the perspective of a star or a historian 200 years from now. Most emergencies are actually just funny stories that haven't aged enough yet. 6. The notification embargo. The silent warrior does not allow their mind to be a dumpster with Wi-Fi. Set strict hours where notifications are silenced. You are not a 911 operator for everyone else's minor inconveniences. By reclaiming your morning, you ensure that patience stresses faster than anxiety. 7. The comparison blackout. Social media is a curated highlight reel. To break the, quote, comparison trap, spend a day focusing entirely on your behind-the-scenes progress. Your only metric of success is whether you are a slightly more composed version of yourself than you were yesterday. 8. The rude guest tea ceremony. Treat stress like a poorly behaved visitor in your home. You acknowledge it, you offer it tea, but you do not let it redecorate your mental space. This separation of the event from the narrative keeps your house clean while the world outside is messy. 9. The friction training drill. Find a minor inconvenience, a long line, a slow elevator, or a broken AC, and label it character development, like the man who spilled olive oil and called it ankle training. Look for the hidden benefit in the friction. If the obstacle is the way, then the slow line is the gym for your patience. 10. The Kintsugi Inventory. At the end of the week, look at your cracks, the moments where you lost your cool or felt overwhelmed. Instead of hiding them, apply the gold of self-reflection. What did the stress teach you? How did the pressure refine your silent warrior spirit? Part 9. The Final Victory. Presence of control. Ultimately, the silent warrior understands that calm is not a gift. It is a discipline. It is the result of choosing, over and over again, to be the master of your own internal temperature. The world will continue to be ridiculous. The outrage subscription will continue to send you invoices. But you have the power to unsubscribe. You have the power to walk forward, head high, heart unafraid, and scars visible. You can laugh at the printers, the GPS lakes, and the false emergencies of a short-term culture. Victory is found in the patience to wait for clarity. Strength is found in the calm that refuses to panic. And a life well lived is found in the humor that refuses to take a ridiculous world too seriously. Be the silent warrior. Win internally first. The rest is just noise. Part 10. The Philosopher's Comedy Club. Deep dives into wit. We often think of philosophers as stone-faced statues. But the silent warrior knows that humor is a tactical advantage. Take Epictetus, for example. He wasn't just a teacher, he was the king of the Stoic clapback. When he told his students that someone had been speaking ill of them, he didn't suggest a long, defensive explanation or a Twitter thread in retaliation. He suggested saying, "He must not have known my other faults, or he would not have mentioned only these." That is the peak of the silent warrior mindset. It's an admission that you are a work in progress, which makes you uninsultable. If you already know you're a cracked pot being repaired with gold, no one can hurt you by pointing out the cracks. The Marcus Aurelius internal memo. Imagine Marcus Aurelius waking up in the morning. He wrote to himself, "The people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." He wasn't being a pessimist. He was performing a software update for his expectations. In the modern world, we wake up expecting everyone to be polite, the Wi-Fi to be lightning fast, and the barista to remember our name. When that doesn't happen, we experience dirty suffering, the optional pain we buy with our own bad expectations. The silent warrior, however, expects the GPS to send them into a lake. When the GPS actually works, they are pleasantly surprised. When it doesn't, they are simply practicing the art of being a human when the world becomes ridiculous. Part 11. The Neurology of the Silent Warrior. Modern science is finally catching up to what the samurai and the Stoics knew centuries ago. When we talk about mushin, or no mind, we are talking about the transition from the sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight, to the parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest. The amygdala hijack versus the Stoic shield. When your phone vibrates with a stressful notification, your amygdala, the ancient part of your brain, treats it like a saber-toothed tiger. It floods your body with cortisol. It tells you to run, fight, or post an angry comment. The silent warrior uses strategic delay to let the prefrontal cortex, the CEO of the brain, take over. This is the biological version of patience stretching time. By breathing like, quote, "a turtle who read Epictetus," you are manually overriding your biology. You are telling your brain, "We are safe enough to think." The coffee and crisis confusion. A common modern mistake is mixing up the categories of event, feeling, and crisis. The coffee, you spilled it. This is an event. The feeling, you are annoyed. This is a feeling. The crisis, I am a failure and today is ruined. This is an existential crisis created by overthinking. The silent warrior keeps these in separate boxes. They drink the coffee, acknowledge the feeling, and skip the crisis. Part 12. The Office Monastery. applying calm to career. You've likely experienced the cold office character development, sitting in a workspace with broken AC, or navigating staffing processes that feel like they were designed by a committee of pigeons. Discipline as structure. You are building ventures, managing offices, and creating community impact in places like Ohio. These aren't just business tasks, they are calm systems. The silent warrior understands that systems outlive moods. If you rely on being in the mood to be patient, you will fail the moment you get hungry or tired. But if you build a system, a morning breathing ritual, a news and moderation diet, and a ruthless block button policy, you create a fortress that doesn't care how you feel. You rise through discipline, humor, and patience, like a sword that refuses to panic even when the heat is on. Part 13. The Kintsugi Career. Let's go back to that potter in ancient Kyoto. He didn't try to hide the fact that the bowl was broken. He used gold to make the break the most interesting part of the object. In your life and career, your cracks are your lessons. Every time you handled a rude guest in your mind or survived an outraged subscription without reacting, you added a bit of gold to your character. The final glow up. The silent warrior doesn't seek a life without stress. They seek a life where stress has no power. They recognize that appearance arrives with filters, but essence is what remains when the ring light is turned off. As you walk forward, remember, you are the one who chooses the narrative. You are the one who decides that the obstacle is the way. And when the world tries to invite you to an argument, you can simply smile, offer it tea, and decline the invitation. Part 14. The Blade and the Boardroom. Musashi's calm in modern conflict. When Miyamoto Musashi, the legendary dual-wielding samurai, spoke of a, quote, calm spirit, he wasn't talking about a peaceful afternoon in a garden. He was describing the state of mind required when several inches of sharpened steel are moving toward your neck at high velocity. In his masterpiece, The Book of Five Rings, he emphasized that your spirit should be no different whether you are in the middle of a duel or sitting in a chair. Today, we don't carry swords, but we carry deadlines, high-stakes negotiations, and staffing processes that feel like a battlefield. The silent warrior treats a corporate negotiation or an office crisis with the same nervous system dominance a samurai used to survive an ambush. Winning without overreacting. Sun Tzu wrote about winning without fighting, but for the modern professional, this means winning without overreacting. In a heated meeting, the person who loses their temper has already lost the duel. They have handed the remote control of their emotions to their opponent. The Stoic and the samurai both knew that intensity without relief becomes a meme, a caricature of true power. If you are constantly on edge, you aren't disciplined, you're just fragile. True strength is a sword refusing to panic, remaining sheathed and silent until the exact moment action is required. Part 15. The Technological Stoicism Protocol. To reach our 400 or 500 word depth, we must look at how the silent warrior handles the specific digital ghosts of the 21st century. Marcus Aurelius warned that you have power over your mind, not outside events. If he were managing an office in Ohio today, his meditations would include a protocol for the digital age, the phantom vibration and the second skin. We have allowed the smartphone to become a second skin. We feel phantom vibrations even when the phone isn't in our pocket, a literal haunting of the nervous system. The silent warrior practices voluntary exile. The ritual: leave the device in another room for 3 hours. The goal: to prove to your brain that you can survive without a constant stream of external validation or outrage subscriptions. The result: you stop being a dumpster with Wi-Fi and start becoming a temple of focus. Forgiving the machine. We must rehearse forgiving technology daily. When the Wi-Fi disappears or the GPS sends you toward a lake, you are not being cursed by the universe. You are being provided with friction training. The reframing. Instead of, "This printer is trying to destroy my career," the silent warrior says, "This printer is a master of patience. teaching me to remain human when the world becomes ridiculous. Part 16. The architecture of a funny nervous system. The silent warrior eventually develops a funny nervous system, one that refuses to take the self too seriously. This is the ultimate glow-up: perspective management versus stress management. Viktor Frankl, who survived the unthinkable, proved that stress management is actually perspective management. He survived by maintaining a sense of humor and a sense of purpose. In our modern world, we can use this same skill to separate clean pain from dirty suffering. Event: you are stuck in traffic. Clean pain: you will be late. Dirty suffering: the hours of mental rehearsing of how much you hate the traffic, the other drivers, and the city council. The silent warrior cuts the dirty suffering out entirely. They separate the event from the narrative. They choose to be like the kintsugi potter, seeing the cracks in their day not as failures, but as the places where they will apply the gold of their own calm. Closing the loop. You will rise through breathing, humor, and patience. You will build calm systems because systems outlive moods. You will walk forward with scars visible and a heart unafraid, while laughing at the absurdity of a world that thinks it can steal your peace with a single notification. Because in the end, those who master calm will master life, and they'll have a much better time doing it. Part 17. The appendix of absurdity: stoic humor for modern scenarios. To truly master the path of the silent warrior, one must be able to apply these ancient filters to the most mundane, soul-crushing moments of modern life. If philosophy cannot help you when your laptop freezes during a critical pitch, then it is merely a museum artifact. Below are the internal scripts for the modern office monastery, where discipline meets character development. Scenario 1. The reply all apocalypse. Someone in the company sends a massive email. A dozen people reply with, "Please remove me from this thread," thus alerting 5,000 more people. The reactionary response: becoming an unpaid spokesperson for communal misery by typing an angry reply to the reply all people. The silent warrior script. A digital version of friction training. My inbox is currently a dumpster with Wi-Fi. I shall practice the voluntary discomfort of not having the last word. Scenario 2. The passive-aggressive feedback. A colleague sends a message that says, "Per my last email," which is corporate speak for, "I am currently imagining your demise." The reactionary response: dedicating your life to replying with paragraphs so long even you forget what you meant. The silent warrior script. Someone insulted my reading comprehension? Congratulations, a free training partner provided by the universe. I will greet this stress like a poorly behaved visitor. Offer it tea, but refuse to let it redecorate my mind. Scenario 3. The broken technology omens. The office printer jams, the Wi-Fi disappears, and your Bluetooth headphones refuse to connect to anything except your neighbor's Peloton. The reactionary response: assuming your entire lineage has disappointed the ancestors because the cloud exists. The silent warrior script. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum precisely for this moment. I am currently rehearsing forgiving technology daily. The printer is not my enemy. It is a Zen master testing my resolve. Scenario 4. The outrage subscription alert. You open a social media app and see someone you don't know being wrong about a topic you barely care about. The reactionary response: enrolling in the outrage subscription service and letting yesterday steal tomorrow. The silent warrior script. I am not required to attend every argument I am invited to. This is an outrage subscription I am now canceling. I have power over the block button, and I shall use it ruthlessly. Scenario 5. The urgent false emergency. An email arrives at 4:55 p.m. with the urgency of a false emergency, demanding a 200-page report in 3 seconds. The reactionary response: allowing your mind to run sprints before it has even located its socks. The silent warrior script. Patience is victory over emotional speed. I will separate the event from the narrative. The event is a request. The narrative of a crisis is optional DLC. I am choosing not to purchase. By applying these, you transform your daily grind into a pottery glow-up. Your nervous system becomes a funny, resilient thing that refuses to panic because it's too busy laughing at the GPS leading us into a lake.